Good evening, everybody. We are here again with our Saturday Sports Shorts with Shano and AD. Hope everybody's doing good today. Love to see all of our sports nuts, mixed nuts out there. Man, we're in the middle of summer right now. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right. It's a heat index of 105 out here today. I've got two fans blowing out here. I'm going to watch a few ball games. Um, you know, we've got some great things that happened today and this week in sports. We got a Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. And we were pumped for it. We were ready to see it. Man, tonight, fixing to start right now, we've got the first game of the College World Series final between Texas A&M and University of Tennessee going for the ship. Man, the Travelers Championship, we saw somebody shoot a 59 today. Only the 13th player in tour history to do so, and flirted with Jim Furyk's 58 at a point. Man, but, as always, you can find us Facebook, Twitter, Brandon, Springs, JD, myself. Everything's kind of right down here at the bottom for you guys to look at. But, man, without further ado, Jay Dizzle, how you doing?
Hey, it is your boy, Jay Dizzle. For sure, in the house. Hey, you nailed that, bro. I only have one thing left to say, I think. There are no two better words in sports. I was about to combine those two words, new and two. So there's no new words in sports better than Game 7. Because, hey, we haven't seen one. It's new, and there's no two better words put together than Game 7. Mr. Mark Ryan, Mr. Jake Crane, we were just listening to them a moment ago. Man, hey, they were talking about Game 7. NHL, listen, I'm not a hockey guy. I'm not. Listen, I'm down here in South Carolina, man. Like Shane just said, it's burning up around here, man. We need some rain. Can anybody send us some rain? So, man, it's been a great Saturday, though. My children, I've been kid-free. They're up with Nenny and Papaw. I've been able to watch soccer. I've gotten into this hockey thing. I went back y'all, I don't even go back and watch football games. I went back and watched a hockey game. Yee. Yee. I mean, NASCAR qualifying was rained out. So I was like, yeah, shoot, let me rewatch this hockey game. But, man, yeah, it's a great Saturday. We're happy to be here with you. Shane, take it away, my friend.
Well, man, we got just a couple things that we're going to run down today. As always, we try to keep things short and simple for you guys on Saturday evenings. That way everybody can have time to, kind of relax for a short moment with us and then get back to the world that they're in currently. Man, one thing that went down this week kind of had a head scratcher. We talked about Mr. Hurley possibly going to the Lakers. Well, here we are. J.J. Redick has now signed a 4-year deal to become the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Man, it's pretty funny how it all came about, especially with the new podcast that he had this year. Not even a year ago, he was talking about how he was coaching his 9 and 10-year-old team and hopefully maybe would move up to middle school within the next 5 years or so. And one year, I think maybe only a couple days or a couple months later, here he is in the NBA. And, LeBron had something to do with it. And he's a good analysis for the NBA. I'm interested to see how it's going to translate onto the court, especially at the pro level. He was a great player. He did go to Duke, so he's got a little bit of smarts about him. I know JD, being a LeBron fan, has got some strong opinions on this, man. I'm going to let you go ahead and go after this one.
Man, hey, you've nailed it all. Listen, as a Lakers fan now, so I go from team to team. I've always rooted for LeBron. So when he was in Cleveland, I rooted for Cleveland. When he went to Miami, I rooted for Miami. And now I root for the Lakers as well. But, dude, there's no way that you can tell me that LeBron is not involved in coaching hires and coaching fires. Like, there's literally just no way. We know how we communicate here on our podcast. So, you really expect me to believe that JJ Redick and LeBron weren't texting the same way that you and me and Brandon and Springs and everybody, we all text that same way every day, like every day. So there's no way you can tell me that LeBron had nothing to do with this. And then who did they bring in as a consultant? Coach K. JJ Redick's college basketball coach, had ties with LeBron, with the Olympic team. So this reeks of LeBron. You can't tell me anything different. I hope it works out. They've tried to change the narrative though. And initially, when JJ was hired, all these stories came out. Oh yeah, Anthony Davis was involved in it. We're doing it for Anthony Davis. But just 2 days before it happened, Anthony Davis was listed as being on the trade block. So please tell me you made this hire for Anthony Davis. Miss me with that. Miss me with it. No.
Throw it out. Throw it out. Man, it's always, with the constant landscape of sports changing, it's always, we kind of have head scratchers, and that was kind of one of them from the week. I don't want to spend too much time on it because, hey, we're probably going to be getting closer into it whenever we start getting closer towards the basketball season for sure. So, just don't want to spend too much time on it, and especially, what we have planned for you guys today. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into topic number 2. Man, we've only got about 9 weeks away from college football right now. We are definitely getting excited around these parts because with college football, we all know the weather is cooling down too. So, especially with the days like today, we're looking forward to that. We've already talked about some college football stuff in a couple of episodes that we've done. We haven't covered Heisman talk yet, though. We've got some great returning players and all in certain new schools and at their original schools. We're kind of interested in that. We see Quinn Ewers right now is leading the Heisman candidate list to win this year. We see others kind of, right there towards the middle, front of the pack with Gabriel now in Oregon, and then Milrose, the quarterback down in Alabama. We also see, some guys kind of further down that we've talked about on here a lot with Ole Miss. We see Jackson Dart on that list at a 15-1 shot to win it. This is probably Lane Kiffin's best team that he has assembled down at Ole Miss right now. And somebody like that, offense, he's going to put up numbers, and that's what it's going to be. Me being a Hokie fan, I've got a great long shot, but he might make some noise this year. But Kyron Jones, the transfer that we got from Baylor a couple years ago, is now going to be the full-time starter. They turned it around at the end of the year, and he could possibly put up some big numbers. Bunch of hype surrounding a bunch of players, man. JD, what are your kind of top candidates? And, let me know if you got a couple long shots too.
Man, yeah, you've nailed all the top ones that I've seen as far as what's going on with the Heisman contenders. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Alabama and DeBoer. But as I've said before, Ole Miss, I think, is a sleeper team to make it into the college football playoff. Jackson Dart, he's a good pick. The one that you didn't mention that I would probably bring up that I've seen is Carson Beck out of Georgia. With the defense he has, my dude, he can go be a game manager, and he could win the Heisman very easily down at Georgia. I don't see that as being a very far stretch. It's hard to argue Georgia shouldn't have been in the college football playoff last year with Carson Beck. So, Carson Beck would be the one that I keep an eye on. Obviously, we can't gamble here in South Carolina, but if anybody wants to give us an address to use so we can look into doing that.
Oh, yeah. Kind of keeping it, this one thing that I kind of thought of, man, we haven't seen a lot of running backs or receivers or anybody be kind of, up there for the past few years in the Heisman running. You think we're ever going to see one again? Oh, had a little bit of technical difficulty. He'll be right back.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Sorry. My ear was itching.
Yeah.
I tried to go off screen to scratch my ear real quick. My bad, y'all. I'm still here. No technical difficulties. Thank God. I mean, I got a new camera.
Okay.
It was wild. I've never in my life. But running backs, I was shocked to see Rocket Sanders as number 18 on the list that I saw the other day. It's become a quarterback award. The Heisman Trophy is a quarterback award. It is no longer best player on the best team. Because if that were the case, there would be some defensive players who should have won it, who very well could have won it. And then we have the whole East Coast, West Coast bias. You know, all of us on the East Coast, there might be a player on the West Coast who should win it, but we never get to watch him play. So he has these big moments here on the East Coast. So, nah, it's going to continue, I think, to be a quarterback thing, just like the NFL reportedly is looking, or the NFL Players Association is looking to negotiate to make quarterback salaries separate from the salary
Yeah.
cap. I just saw that earlier today.
Yeah. Now, you said that you saw a list. Where was Mr. Hunter on that list out there in Colorado?
He was number 4. Right now, I just saw something too on Twitter. The Panthers are projected to get the number 2 pick, and they're looking at drafting wide receiver / cornerback Travis Hunter. Listen, he can't play both. I mean, he can. Don't get me wrong, he can. He's very skilled. But in the NFL, that's just too many plays. Safety is too big of an issue. So if anything, I would rather have him as a defensive back / punt returner, like Devin Hester back in the day. I mean, obviously he's electric with the ball in his hands, or even just choose to put him on offense. I mean, but yeah, he needs to make up his mind one way or the other. We don't go both ways around here. Family show, keep your eyes up here.
Up here, guys. But man, you know, we always try to you know, kind of take a little bit away from the sports with me, JD, doing our little side sports. Try to give you guys, you know, just a little quick tidbit. Take it away. Give some thoughts on life and stuff. And you know, we all know the daily hustle and bustle, the struggle with the traffic, parking, and all those concerns. Whenever we've got anything going on, man, I'm real fortunate to live in a small town of only a couple thousand people. So we get real busy at shift change at the jobs. So about 3-4 o'clock, and then you got your 11 and 12. The roads are bustling then. But you know, I also travel a bunch down to Charleston, of course up to Greenville, and them there to see JD and the boys. You know, it's horrible. I can stand it for about 5 days. I'm not a big traffic fan, but you know, JD, I want to know kind of what you think on this and what your pet peeves are. And of course, as always, mixed nuts. Share, subscribe. We want to know kind of what you guys' pet peeves are. Go ahead, JD.
Okay, yeah. No, I lost you there a little bit for a minute. You kind of went in and out, so I wasn't sure if you were done talking because, yeah, I just missed it. But, yeah, mixed nuts, sports nuts. Hey, anybody out there watching right now, don't forget to like, share, follow. Hey, listen, we need to hear what your pet peeves are regarding a parking lot, traffic, whatever it may be. I lived in Charleston for a while, so one of my biggest pet peeves was, number 1, it would take you 15 minutes to travel 1 mile. Like, literally, we lived a mile away from my wife's grandmother, and sometimes it would take you 15 minutes to get there. It was ridiculous. My next one, though, is the merging lanes, all right? The merging lanes, people. If everybody's lined up in one lane, don't be the jerk to come flying by everybody in the other lane. Like, are you, like, really? Your time's more important than everybody else's? No, it's not. We all have a limited amount of time. So your time is not more important than my time. And then lastly, as far as parking lot goes, don't leave your buggy in the parking lot. And then, dude, is there anything worse than being like, oh, there's an open parking spot. And then you pull up and there's like this little Prius sitting there. And so you guys circle back around.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a struggle, and especially in your bigger cities with the larger parking lots, you're going to run into that a bunch, especially with a lot more of the EV cars, and people being eco-friendly, driving all these little small smart cars that almost look like um, golf carts on the road, in my opinion. But I've got a couple pet peeves myself. I get into traffic. I'm true just a cruise control, couple miles over the speed limit, kind of go with the flow, do everything like that. Man, parking lot, like JD said, man, put your buggies in the return station, please. That is another thing that I hate, seeing an empty parking spot and boom, there's a buggy right there. Now you got to stop, get out, move it. I mean, I've been kind of lazy before and just kind of eased up to it to push it out my way a little bit before. But all those things, stay in lines, man. Stay in the parking lines. There are other people that have to park and get out, man. My boss man's got an excursion that he's let me use graciously for a couple trips and stuff like that. Man, that I've got to have about 2 or 3 spaces to even try to park that. So, that's one of the things that my granddad's always said. So there's nothing worse than in a parking lot or traffic to see 100-pound woman behind the big SUV Suburban that they have with screaming kids in the back. So,
Right.
it's tough, and merging lanes, stuff like that. If we're all sitting there parked, just wait. Just wait, or go ahead and get that ticket.
Right. Hey, and I got one. So Brandon's not with us, obviously. He's in the stream. We've had a few comments from him. Brandon, I know one of yours already. I know your parking lot pet peeve is the handicap spot. I know that you've seen people park in the handicap spot. Obviously you coming off that heart attack and everything. You had a handicap sticker. And then not only that, people would tell you that you weren't handicapped. Like, you don't know other people's stories. Like, you just, hey, don't test the wrong person. Stay in your lane. Like, just, and I mean that traffic wise and life wise. All right, just stay in your lane. You never know what people are dealing with in their day to day life.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and especially since we're talking about traffic and stuff like that and cars, man. Finally, wouldn't be a sports shorts with me and JD if we didn't talk about some NASCAR. Man, they had a great race today with the Xfinity cars. They just went to they first race that they tried out the wet tires on an oval in the Xfinity series. You know, enjoyed watching the race. It actually made it a little bit racier at New Hampshire. It's a big flat track, real technical to get around. So, with the softer tire, more grip that they gave them. The only thing that bugged me about it was NASCAR said when they were going to take the tires off and put the slicks on. That's kind of the thing that kind of irked me about it. They did a competition caution to let everybody do that. Man, I'd say let them race it out. But yesterday we had a weird thing happen, man, and it blew up all over social media. I sent it out right away to JD and Brandon whenever I saw it. Man, Christopher Bell might have let the cat out of the bag on who's going to replace Mark Truex Jr. After he retires this year. And he said a name that we all kind of, as soon as it came up, Chase, and then kind of backtracked a little bit, said whoever was going to be in the car is going to be on their, experience and talent, how much input they're going to have as a team member. I hear Chase. I saw that, and Kyle Larson had tweeted something out. Hey, Chase, it's been good racing with you, man. Good luck on your future endeavors. Now, as you know, we've got a few other Chases. We've got a Chase Purdy that's coming up through the truck ranks now. It's a pretty good young racer. Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott. Man, there's too many Chases. I wish we would have just said a name, even just the last name. That way we could have kind of figured it out. But, all these interviews are coming out. Kyle Larson did a little short video today that didn't type fast enough on Twitter as a joke about the Chase Elliott thing. So, JD, I know you've got a little bit of insight on it and who it might be and what they did today in the media lull as far as during their little rain delay for qualifying and all. So, man, what's your thoughts on it?
Man, so obviously I've slipped up a few times saying words today already. So people slip up, people make mistakes. But yeah, the only thing he got out was Chase. And so around here, we're Chase Elliott fans. But he's baby Chase to us. He's baby Chase. So he didn't say baby Chase. So I think it's Chase Briscoe. I think it's Chase Briscoe. Stuart Haas closing down at the end of this year and everything. Obviously, I don't think it's Chase Purdy coming up just yet. So I mean, yeah, it's Chase Briscoe. That's the only way. But hey, here's one thing. What about we don't know what we don't know? Like people will release news when they're ready to release it. And we're not ever privy to that information, just like Paul Maneri at South Carolina being hired as the head coach. Came out of nowhere. And hey, I just remembered I'm wearing an Atlanta Braves hat, speaking of baseball. Oh, going for 8-1. 8 of their last 9 people, the Braves. I forgot to mention that, I think. But yeah, dude, like the NASCAR thing, yeah, people slip up. And it's got to be Chase Briscoe, though. I know Chase Elliott's up for, renegotiation. We did have to look that up to confirm, which you did. Great job. But it's got to be Briscoe, man. It's got to be Chase Briscoe.
Well, that's one thing. They did a little video with him today, kind of interview type deal during the rain delay and all, and that's kind of what he said. He said they'll announce it when they announce it, and they're gonna announce who it's gonna be whenever they're ready to do so at that point. So it's kind of one of those things. When I heard it, I definitely didn't want it to be Chase Elliott because that man's been in a bow tie since he started racing, and I don't see him going to a Toyota anytime soon. Hopefully, so
if there's any good switch to make, nobody could argue with going between Hendrick and Joe Gibbs. Granted, he would be swapping manufacturers, so you would have, I'm not going to root for him anymore because that's un-American. Toyota, I mean, they make them here, but they're un-American. I don't even know how Toyota ended up in NASCAR. But yeah, like you said, he's always raced under a bow tie. I mean, I would feel some type of way about it, but I'm a LeBron fan, like I just mentioned. So I don't adhere to the rules of sports fandom. I feel like if there's a person or a team or whatever, you can root for whoever you want. You can root for the sports nuts. Who knows?
oh yeah, and like we always try to do on Saturdays, man. Short, simple, sweet, to the point. Try to get in and out, man. That's we about wrapped everything up that we had. Hey, I'm gonna go watch these Braves games on. They're blacked out in my area normally, but they're on Fox tonight, so definitely get to watch them. Gonna watch this College World Series, see what's going on.
Yeah, and
So
as you mentioned that, let me give you update, people. So, yep, we're Texas A&M is up 1-0. I don't think did we get predictions on that. What is your prediction, Shane? Who's winning? Who's gonna win?
Yeah, we gave it last night. We gave it last night, but I still think me and you kind of on different sides of it. I think Tennessee's got the stronger arms in the pen and the hotter back right now. I think they're going to take it.
Yeah. I had a guy give me a little shame earlier. I said Texas A&M's been playing great late or all year. Tennessee's been playing great lately, and I said it's going to be an epic clash. I just want to see a game 3, just like we're going to see a game 7 in the NHL, like we hoped for. But man, yeah, hey, it's Saturday Sports Shorts, people. It's been a blessing to be here with you. JD Wyatt, don't forget, we've got some goals. Shane is like 6 away from 100. Let's get him there on Twitter. Let's get the sports nuts up. Let's get JD up. Be blessed, not stressed. Shane, Sign us off, my friend.
Oh yeah. Well, as always, all of our socials down here at the bottom. Check them out. Be sure to interact we try to interact with everybody. So, as always, find me Facebook, Shane Owen, Twitter, X, Poop Sports, Instagram, S-Owen1240, and then on Snapchat, interact, man. I want to know what our fans think and what they want to hear about. We always look forward to doing this. So, as always, follow YouTube, subscribe to their YouTube channel. We're getting up there. Goal still by the end of July to reach 100 on there. So, all it takes is a click, guys. That's all we need. Doesn't cost any money either. So, we've got some.
We don't even care if you watch or listen. We don't even care.
Yeah, just
hit that click button, because eventually you're gonna watch or listen, because we got good stuff.
Oh yeah, and now I also wanted to highlight a couple things that we've got coming up. Tuesday should have the head coach for Reinhardt University baseball on with us. Friday, Jeff couldn't make it this Friday. Hopefully everything goes well next Friday on the 28th, where we'll have him on. Kelly Bryant, quarterback for Clemson. He is committed to come on the show July the 2nd, so be on the lookout for that. As always, Brandon working on the shirts and everything for us. Got the tumbler. We're going to keep kind of pushing out that. Go ahead and give you guys another little look at it with the logo, everything else on it. So y'all stay tuned for that. Should have something coming out there shortly. But, JD, I know you're ready to go. Just relax for the week. The boys are at Mini and Papaws for Vacation Bible School. You're going to have fun, man. Give you a good little break. But hey, well, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. As always, check us out. Much love, peace, love, and bacon grease. See y'all later.